but when
ladies and, well, I shouldn't say ladies.
Now, we have built-in
Hey,
safety
Jay,
nets.
do we have any lady participants in this
We
league?
know where all the rest areas are.
No.
Just in case.
No,
Do we
if
have
he
any
gets
lady
tired,
fans?
boom, pull over. It's not worth it.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. Hey, guy,
And
this
I
is
think
the
the same
Fantasy
time.
Baseball
That's
Advocates
what I was
coming to you
like, and I'm
live
gonna take over if I don't
from
do
Luke's
it.
Airbnb.
4 hours
And,
fire. Hey, who farted?
I don't know, dude.
What is going on here? We got a bunch of guys hanging out. Fantasy Premier League convention too. Like here we are in Kansas City. After a day drinking beer. We got 7 of the league's finest owners here. And
We do.
this is amazing. Luke and Jake set this league up 20 plus years ago. And here we are. We are running conventions multiple years going. And we're going across the country. This league is going to go into one of the biggest leagues there is. Eventually someday it might rival some of the best. However, that being said, this is Cutters here.
Pack.
Backcountry.
All right. And as we have people coming in and out, we got to talk about what's important. There's a lot to talk about. So forgive us, guys, if we slip a few words. This may be something to be naive to young kids' ears. We've been having a few drinks throughout the day. It's been a good day. Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City. Royals v. Guardians. Guardians got the best of the Royals. We had a great matchup. It was Tanner Bibee versus Cole Ragans. And there's a lot of Ragans fans in here, but you know what? Bibee, at the end of the day, got the best of it. 6 2/3 with the quality start, 2 earned runs. You know, this reminded me of Kyle Hendricks 8 years ago, Jay. You're a consummate pitch-to-contact pitcher who he wasn't a headliner going into it, but he knew he had the offense backing him up. What do you think?
As I said before, I expected Cole Ragans to give up 2 to 3 runs minimum, so I wasn't surprised. Although Cole Ragans did get screwed, and they called a foul ball, a home run, and he got screwed from the umpire up to the booth in New York.
So
really, it wasn't a terrible outing.
Did they only have
for
one
Ragans,
camera angle? One camera angle. That's so terrible. I'm
he had
serious.
6
Like,
Ks, as he said, you know.
we
the
should.
amount of money that we paid for just our 8 seats could have paid for 2 more cameras. And this is a Major League Baseball game.
Right?
It
That was
is.
the best camera angle they
All
had.
right. So
Somebody did fart, so I'm gonna open this.
how many of you guys in here?
What's that, Jeff?
How many of you guys in here can actually say that was a fair ball? Anybody?
It was a foul ball.
Anyone
As
want
far
to
as
say
I
it
can
was
tell.
a fair ball?
We sat and watched it several times go on the other side of the
Okay.
foul ball.
I don't really
Okay.
know, but like, I'm
So-
trusting you guys. Look, foul. It's definitely foul.
The
foul.
camera angle was from like the from
Do you have
on
any
field.
ice?
Hey,
From
what
the
did
side of the field.
Anna and Elsa say? Let it go. Let it go.
I can let it go. It was already, like I said, already gave up 2 or 3 runs. Now it's 4.
Says the resident Guardians fan. So here's a good hot take. Maybe we should be in the pulse of Major League Baseball, moving their camera angles.
Do you guys okay with all that shit?
The ads.
And then what if they go?
What shit are you
one over
talking
here?
about?
Yes, and then one here and one here.
No, just on the arm.
Or you think they'll limit it to just one ad?
I hope they just limit it to one arm. I
do
don't want to
too.
see any more.
Because it gets more. It's going to get more.
We're talking about advertisements on jerseys.
They're
Why
gonna
don't we
do-
talk about
They're going
advertisements
to do
on
a
Jersey?
patch, and then they're going to do a
Because
subliminal.
casual
another.
conversation. It just came up.
Yeah, I float around when I.
No, it's okay. We're on air. I mean, I just
Oh,
want
you're
people
on
to.
air right now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, it's
What's
all
up,
right,
my
guys.
family?
This is ditches.
Let's
you know?
talk. Let's talk about what happened. Someone ripped ass inside. Jeff and I decided to remove
That's
ourselves
right.
from the situation and started talking about jersey patches.
Okay. So, that being said, today, after ripping ass, we had a great day. I mean, it was a great baseball game, and there's still more drinks to be had. But I'd like to get into a few things here. So, first of all, the Guardians were the better team in this game, hands down. There's no denying that. And, like, whether you're a Royals fan or not, you got to look at fantasy baseball and be like, how can we compare fantasy baseball and real life baseball and wrap this into a present? Because really, you have to understand both aspects to be able to break it down. So here's the thing. In real life baseball, in my humble opinion, the Guardians are an amazing team. In fantasy baseball, they do not get their due. They don't. They are that nitty-gritty team that does the stuff behind the scenes that nobody wants to pay attention to. For example,
3 top 100 players on the Guardians.
name them.
Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Stephen Kwan.
Is Stephen Kwan a top 100 player in fantasy baseball this year?
He
He
needs to
definitely
be,
is.
maybe.
No, I'm telling
Okay,
you.
no, I see it
Why?
right now.
Why is he?
He's batting 380. He hits the ball all over the park, steals bases, runs. I mean, you could call. I need
I'm
a
gonna look
diarrhea
that up
reference
right
here.
now. In our
What-
league.
Call that man Miralax. Is that what gives people diarrhea?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's getting them runs.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed.
So here's the thing.
He's season ranked 36 in our league.
36.
And he was
Right
out
now.
for 3 weeks.
36. Got, ladies and gentlemen,
And that only
Stephen
improves
Kwan
today.
is the 36th ranked player in fantasy baseball head to head.
He had more 3-hit games than no-hit games.
Okay,
Which
so
is insane. When you
That
think
is
about it.
insane.
He's turning into a real baseball league winner, but maybe not a fantasy baseball league winner this year. Right now, he has a chance to make the Guardians win it all. He's doing that table setting I was talking about, and he's doing it consistently, and they're doing it every game. So they're already starting to put people on bases with Quan every third inning, and now they're putting people on the base path. So now they're threatening you with home runs
He's
and
batting, what,
driving in
380?
guys conventionally,
So OBP
small
is gonna
ball,
be, what,
big
450
ball. They
minimum?
got a little connection of
Talking
both
about
right now
almost
with that
half
table
the time
setter.
He's up, he's on base for Andres Jimenez, Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, whoever's hitting behind him. Like that's you put a guy on base half the time with those batters, you're going to score runs.
you are.
And I'm
So
a Guardians fan,
Maybe
so
it
I'm
does
biased.
translate
No,
into
it's
fantasy
okay.
baseball.
This all
Help
goes
me
to
out
our
here.
point. Jay, real life winners contribute to fantasy in big ways. When you play in deep leagues such as ours, it's not all about the stars. It's not all about a stars and scrubs philosophy. Guys like Tanner Bibee get 100+ pick boost in ADP based upon the players around them. Let's say that you go 6 2/3 of 2 earned runs and scratch, and you play for the Chicago White Sox. Is that going to take you as far as 6 2/3 and 2 earned runs for the Guardians with a win and a quality start, which you would have gotten the quality start with the White Sox? But what I'm saying is, you've got more win potential. You've got more potential to go deep in the game because the offense is backing you up. So here we have an example in this one game that there is a paradigm shift in baseball. And that paradigm shift is, as analytics are driven further into the game, we as fantasy players have to identify who the outliers are. And there's not a lot of outliers on the Cleveland Guardians, so they're just not sexy. However,
No, there's
however,
Relief pitching, closing, the relief pitching, right?
You don't think Josh
Tanner
Naylor
Bibee
is sexy?
and the relief pitching and those 3 batters we mentioned.
380
That
is not
is their
sexy?
concoction.
Luke,
380 is sexy.
you are the co-commissioner in this
Anybody
league. I would like to
380.
introduce you to the podcast. You've been on the podcast as a guest before, and we truly appreciate everything that you've done. We were, before you stepped out, talking about a paradigm shift going on in baseball right now. And that's that people in fantasy only want the sexy stuff. But the Guardians are a perfect example of getting the job done without having the flashy
Defense,
players.
stealing outs, yeah, stealing outs from a defensive standpoint. So that'll make up for your lack of home runs. Your math. Right. I mean, I think the Rays kind of started that more than anything else, and then
Longoria was always locked down at
But
third
you
base,
go
just
back-
like Jose Ramirez on defense is locked
Kansas
down
City-
all the time.
going to the 2 World Series in
Great
like
defender.
14, 15 basically
Amazing.
showed people don't have to invest in home runs to like win a World Series, and so it's weird they're trying to not pay that. They're trying to not give people the contracts. It's definitely paradigm shift. And somebody said something about why there is going to be potentially now this line, like there's going to have two lines where this space behind second base where you can't go. And I think it's totally justified because like when I was a kid, we watched Baseball Tonight, and one of the things you look forward to on Baseball Tonight was the web gyms. Well, they've taken the web gyms out of the game because people are just standing there and the ball's hit to them because they know where it's going to be. No, we want to see players being athletic and running and diving. We want to see Ellie De La Cruz.
We want to see Omar Vizquel.
Right, and so there's definitely a lot of changes happening in baseball right now.
I think he's canceled though.
Some people are slow to keep up.
That being said, yeah, a lot of good points there. So, and that also backs up. But we also, as fantasy owners, we have to look for the advantages. So, yes, the home run is more sexy than anything because with the home run, you get a run, an RBI, a hit if you play in leagues where they count hit, and a home run, and it helps your average in your OPS, right? This has been said before.
Chasing power. I'm chasing those home runs again.
I think
want more.
But
the home run of the pitcher, the stat that I chase more than any stat is quality starts, dude. Because if you can get quality starts, that means your ERA and WHIP's going to be down. That means you're going to have strikeouts. You're going to have GIDPs. You're going to be.
What's a GIDP for our audience that doesn't
It's
know?
a double play, a ground ball, and a chance time, or there's a
And,
runner on first.
and to earn a GIDP, what exactly has to happen?
Ground ball, and they turn two. 6-4-3 double play, 4-6-3 double play, 5-4-3 double play.
Okay, it can't be like a line out, right? It has to be a grounder.
You got to get the ground ball.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's an exciting play. We saw one happen today. Cole
Yeah,
Ragans got one.
for sure.
Right?
Yeah,
But then
it is exciting.
Basically,
to see it
saw
executed.
2 of them.
when I watch
Yeah.
my starting pitchers, it's like way more stressful than watching your hitters. But like a lot of
Agreed.
times they get hit kind of in the first inning or so, and it's like, but until they give up that fourth run, you're still watching like, okay, he's still got a chance to get that quality start, dude. He's still got a chance. He's
Yes.
still alive in it.
I like that.
And Cole Ragans,
like that
for as
too,
much
yeah.
as he was getting hit,
That's what we just
Oh,
watched was him.
he was
trying to
alive
stay
for that
alive
quality
in
start for a
matchup.
while. Like,
Bro, it's so hard. Like I was thinking about Dane Dunning when I had Dunning a couple weeks ago, and he's going against the Dodgers on like a Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, I kind of need another starting pitcher, but the first 21 batters of the game, 9 of them are going to be Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to start him.
Yeah, no.
that's a really good point.
I got burnt sitting
That's a
some
really
good
for
point.
Dodgers already.
Phillies,
but
maybe
I would
sometimes Brewers.
Still do it.
I don't start batters on those guys. Can't do it. Pitchers. Sorry.
But so like Luis Ortiz, I thought I got bad.
Good call though.
I got a bad beat on that because he was doing good, and then what they were going to do is he wasn't pitching the first inning. They were putting a middle reliever in the first inning. You go through 1 through 3, okay, and then by the time he gets to the third time through, he's likely going through 5, 6, 7, right? And so, but the Rays just like fucking put up like 9 hits on him, and then somebody else picks him up. Who got him? Who got the quality start on Luis Ortiz this week? Was it you? Somebody else picked him up with
Not
6
me.
innings.
Wasn't me.
they let
I
start
have
the
him
game.
now,
Yeah.
but I don't know if
Well,
anybody.
maybe
had
nobody
it.
got it.
Right.
I
because
think
Then
he
I
may have
picked
been
him out
on the
because
free
he did
agent
that.
market.
he's throwing like 99-mile-an-hour sinkers, like.
And
So
I'm not sure
that's
he's
a
gonna
that's a
start,
good
but
point.
yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
And I
'cause
had him
that's-
last year. I kind of liked him last year too.
No, it's good. He was good for a couple of starts. It was in August. There was a start where Luis Ortiz went against the Royals, and him and Ragans dueled for like 7 innings. And actually, Luis Ortiz, Ragans got his quality start with high strikeouts, but Luis Ortiz did too. So just goes by chance that the team that backs you up can keep you in the game longer, and that's exactly what happened for Tanner Bibee today. Tanner Bibee was the ultimate winner with 6 2/3, 2 earned runs, and quality start. I don't really know how many strikeouts he had, but he pitched to contact. And this goes to say the Royals lived and died by the home run ball today. 2 solo shots by Pasquantino and Massey put them up 2-1 and made them feel good. But the Guardians buckled down and just kept grinding out at bats to get hits, and then ultimately were the benefactor of some bad calls, but they ultimately manufactured their own offense, and they deserved the win that they got today. Chuck, I'd like to hear your take on why you think it is that the Guardians don't get the credit that they're due, because they literally won the most unsexy way that you can win.
I think that's it. It's unsexy ball. It's dirty. It's a small market club.
Blue collar.
blue collar. Like they're just, you know, it's not highlight material. It's not quick stuff you could see on TikTok. It's not, you know, a YouTube short. It's baseball. It's grinding at bats. It's the game the way it's meant to be played, in my opinion. Humble Guardians fan. So
Absolutely. And there wasn't a bat or two where they really chased Ragans. Like the reason he got out at 4 2/3 and ended up on the hook for 5 runs, I mean, was because they drove his pitch count up. He was over 20 pitches after the first inning.
First inning and the first inning was.
he was at like 27 at the end of the first, and that you can't ask for more.
Yeah.
When you're facing a guy like Cole Ragans, that's how you beat him. Is get him out, get to the bullpen, and then
Fell off his good.
when it was it was 4-2 when he left, and then a fifth run was get.
Well, and I will say, let's pretend that very bad call that we'll talk about later that needs to be approved. It should have been 2-2. He had a ball that was called a 2-run home run that clearly on review was foul. However,
But if it was clear on review, why didn't New York overturn it?
That's definitely something that we should get to. But
Maybe
the
it was
fact
just
is,
the camera
he
that
left
they
a man
had-
on
angle they
base.
had was so focused on there was like no point of reference or something.
There was
get-
only one shot. There was no other camera angle at all.
He got chased from the game. He left a runner at second, and the Guardians put that guy in with the double off the first reliever that came in the game, and that won them the game. The Royals had no answer to playing small ball, and that's a problem. That's a big problem.
We didn't have to see it today, but I think the Guardians, once they have that lead, their strength in pitching is that bullpen.
Yeah, if it's a
They've
close
got a
lead.
lot of relievers that, I mean, you can get 4 or 5 holds guys off of their team, I think.
Hunter Gaddis was a great pick earlier in the year.
Yes, and I traded him to you for a late round pick, which was dumb on my end again.
Well,
Just to chase that pick I gave away for Mizorowski from here. Just now to make it even. And I gave him away, Gaddis. I was going to, anyway, yeah.
I think it comes from the organization too. Like Ben Lively is our second best starter. He's
That's what I was
pitching
gonna
out of his.
say.
He's
Who
pitching
is your
out.
best-
He's
second best starter?
He's pitching out of his mind right
Did
now.
anything in his career,
Right,
all of a sudden.
and so you look at the bullpen. You look at guys like Ben Lively. There's something that's being preached in the organization, things that are being worked out mechanically with the pitchers that is working at the major league level. That
they're getting the most
out of their pitch. I'm almost excited to see what Matthew Boyd can do.
Whereas like the Cardinals seem to be
Matthew
like.
Boyd.
I mean, I think you might be high on Mars Newbar, but how many outfielders came up in the Cardinals organization and just didn't pan out?
Yeah,
And that's got to be their development.
I think the poster child for that's Harrison Bader. I mean, how many teams does he have to play for?
Right. Hey, can I? say
And the one that they traded, Tyler O'Neill,
Right.
is like doing
Right.
great.
Somebody else is getting
in
something
another
out of it.
organization. They're
Somebody
getting a
else
lot
gets
out of
something
them. Yeah,
I want to say something about the Royals. Like, despite what happened today, what's weird is
they couldn't make room for Tyler O'Neill. They had to have Dylan Carlson instead of
when
Tyler
I
O'Neill.
when I see my pitcher's projected start for this week, and it says Kansas City, I get afraid, dude, because it goes back to owning Trevor Bauer, and like they were just so good at like spoiling your best pitches and driving up the pitch count, and then like stupid little.
did they hit?
There was so many
Stupid
foul
little
balls today,
hits.
straight back.
Did you mean Cleveland?
So
No,
many
no,
balls
Kansas
on the
City.
ball.
No,
It was,
Kansas
They're
City.
a
It was
nemesis
exciting.
today, dude. They I know I possessed Trevor Bauer in the game that he threw the ball over, and it was against the Royals because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is a quality start waiting to happen, right? And he goes out there and he can't get through the fifth because they have good at bats.
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna do?
They needed to string more hits together today.
Right.
They really did. You've got a good point. Now let's transition this to fantasy though, because it says fantasy baseball podcast, and you guys made up a good point. So we're talking about teams that do things the right way win games, right? And so ultimately that's where we should be leaning with our bullpens. And a name such as Hunter Gaddis was mentioned. So why would a name such as Hunter Gaddis be of value in a standard 12-team league? But he wouldn't in a standard 12-team league. In a 16-team league,
I don't think a lot of people track holds. But we do.
yes. And in the deep league, holds count. And you're right.
I like making everybody.
I
on
wonder
the roster
who's got
valuable.
the most holds in this league right
I think
now.
that's
I
one
bet
of the
it's
best things
probably
about the league,
packed.
though,
Yeah.
is how everyone on the roster can be valuable.
Right.
You know, like we're offered that It makes it so much more fun.
You can go looking under a bunch of rocks and find some stuff. You know?
Absolutely.
And it's in your best interest to do that.
And with
the holds
grounded to double
especially,
plays
those
now,
are free.
like,
They should be free.
the
all
sinker ball
time.
pitchers, they're back. Like Marcus Stroman is one of my highest rated pitchers because he's inducing those ground balls, getting those double plays.
It's such a luck stat. Like we used to do triples like years ago, and it was always going to end like 3-1 or something like that. People don't get a lot of triples. And GIDPs, it's like you can have you say you build for GIDPs.
I did.
And
I
say
tried
that's,
to.
I say that's
Some of that's
bullshit.
myth. Some of that's me believing it.
But it seems like the team that's losing somehow they have the upper hand in that stat a lot, and it kind of balances out a lot of things. And it just also it makes guys like, okay, maybe Tyler Anderson's been good the last couple of years, right? But you go back to earlier in his career.
22 he was, but 23 he wasn't.
Last year with the
Yes. Yes, you're correct.
How about a guy like Ty Black, Ryan Yarbrough, right? These guys.
Ryan Yarbrough. That's a really good
If
example.
strikeouts were all that matters, you would never have those guys if in
Oh,
the
right,
league they
exactly.
have value.
They get holds, they get double plays, they vulture wins, and they play on good teams.
You know,
I mean,
even
that's
if
a lot
Ryan
of things
Yarbrough
that a
has
bad streamer
outing,
can't do
I
for you.
doubt that whatever team he was facing felt comfortable when he was pitching up there,
Yeah.
because it's hard
Right.
for the hitters, dude.
Right, dude.
He's got a crazy delivery.
And I love all like the Madison Bumgarner stuff where like you're in the batter's box and you see the ball here,
Yeah.
and then the next thing
If
you know
it's
it's
all
here.
the way out here,
You know that's hard to track, dude.
yeah, it's all the way out here, and then it's coming
How
back
do
at
they,
you.
How do they do what they do, man?
I don't know.
For perspective, we're talking
Tyler
about
Anderson's
a
leg.
pitcher's mechanics. Yes.
Hey, look at my leg. Look
Hey,
at my leg.
Julio
Not my heart.
Urias, I feel like it was like that was
Yeah.
part of his success was just the way he was able. Johnny Cueto,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah, dude. That's why
Good
I thought,
time leg
Luis,
kick.
I
Luis.
thought Nick Solak was going to be good because
Garcia.
he reminded me like Craig Biggio had such a weird
Weird leg kick.
yeah, dude.
Or he-
And I thought Solak was going to be
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Nothing, dude.
Well,
No,
you know,
total boss.
this is it's a good segue to take a time to acknowledge our resident Guardians fan Chuck as the supreme beneficiary of an
Congratulations,
important
Chuck.
Guardians win today.
Here we go.
Podcast host.
George is
the-
out here. Say
Thank
hello.
you, sir.
Hey, what's up? Fantasy Premier League. It's the one and only
Paleskins.
Paleskins.
In the house.
And
About to
making
be the
drinks
last
for
place.
all of us.
So,
Oh, here we.
Drinks. What did you make?
Who do we have here?
Let's
We
talk
got
about these drinks real quick.
we got a,
Oh, and Joel's here.
we got Pope.
we got Pokes
Pokes.
coming off of
All
a big
right.
day, a big week.
Yeah.
Folks is kicking Eagle
Yeah.
his ass.
Yeah. So
Ah.
throw all your
God,
knowledge
an
about
easy
fantasy
thing.
baseball out the window
Oh, it's
because
delicious.
I
Yeah.
completely just got lucky this week. So
Well, the week's not over yet.
right?
I got
and-
one more day.
And that leads us to two segues. The week's not over.
If you don't mind,
Dude, I'm making
I'm
one
sorry.
for
Yeah,
myself.
sorry. But don't you notice that in our league we all
I just wanted-
self-censor?
they got a little
We
more
all have to be
pureed
like humble because we know
with
that
egg.
if
So
we
it's
say
kinda
something like
more foamy than usual, but
egotistical,
Like
like
that's so
bam,
good.
immediately the luck turns back on.
It's
you.
happened to me
always
a couple
does.
times.
And if you're going shitty, it's in your best
Oh,
interest
this
to
is
say,
good.
I'm getting unlucky. Like out loud, just say it really loud.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, I
this
take it
podcast is brought to you by Bullet Bourbon. I cannot speak for the manufacturers of Bullet Bourbon, but it's really good bourbon, and I have to say I'm very appreciative. It's really good after a day in a hot sun. So for those of you who like bourbon or whiskey or rye, please go to your local stores and pick up some Bullet Bourbon. That being said, okay, so we have something to talk about. We have a couple things to talk about here. Luke, it's been brought to my attention that while we had deflect attention off of ourselves, which is very important because we all want to win, but we don't want to be that guy that, like in our other league, he's kind of self-centered and all about himself. You know, that's no fun. So what we do is we try to stay humble. But how do we stay humble and manage our teams on Sunday? How do we make those moves on Sunday when we are the most insecure we've ever been because our matchups lie in the rest of one day? All of our hard-fought week comes down to one day. And some years,
weekend's
just
the most
dumb
important,
luck.
And Sunday's probably the most important day.
Yeah.
Weekends are for the Warriors.
You get to Sunday and it's like Monday through Thursday didn't matter at all. Yeah.
Shit. Maybe I should have kept him on.
I don't know.
He
I
could
mean,
have talked about taking over.
How many
my team
big
on
leads
Sunday.
evaporate?
You gotta take
in
back
this
Sunday.
league- In
We
this
have
league every week in and week out matches.
yes.
We have
90,
to
90 some percent.
Saturday night.
95%
ago.
Put the
A
line
long
up.
time
Big
ago,
leads
before you guys
evaporate.
were
Yeah,
ever
you're
in
gonna
there.
have to
I
track
remember
what's
Jake was
going
beating
on.
me.
They're very rare now.
He was beating me 11-1
You know what I
at the
mean?
start of Friday. By the end of Sunday, I beat him 11-2. So like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
dude, you go cold.
More often than not,
in the
it changes
playoffs
hands.
too. In our playoffs, you go cold one day, you're in a lot of trouble.
Seriously,
Oh.
that's it. One
This
day.
is the first time I've ever been beat the very first day. No, it's a different league, sorry. But I've been beat by Monday in batting. It happened. You beat me.
You
in
cannot
by
have a
Monday.
1 for 32.
No.
So-
I can't
It's
believe
not
I
a good way
had
to
no
start the
hitter.
week.
I got no hit.
That's the first time I knew I was
0 for
beaten batting by
27.
day one. I couldn't come back.
We can't talk about that.
That's fine.
That was luck.
Different
That was
You
just
have to
dumb
have
luck.
hope, but dude, you can just tell. I mean, you can watch Major League Baseball and it's the same thing. The way the Blue Jays played the Twins last year in that series, and from the get-go, it's like, oh, the Twins are the better team here. Like, it doesn't matter how many wins they had in the rest of the year. Right now, in this series, the Twins look like the better team because they got that Royce Lewis guy. And
So,
the Twins or the Blue Jays
Jeff-
weren't hitting.
Jeff, like I'm glad you brought that up. You asked Jay and I before the podcast how often we work together. So, and I said like 4 or 5 times here. Well, one of those 4 or 5 times happened after that Monday, like 6 weeks ago, and had you down like
Well, I
15
would've
zip.
put it a different way, but
That's
I
a
have
technical
I
term.
can't-
That's a fantasy technical term, by the way.
Right. Yes.
No, it was bad, guys.
show
Like
you.
I was
I'm gonna
shocked.
just show
I
you.
looked
That
at the
means he
score. I
was
was like,
winning
did that
big.
just
Hold
happen?
on.
Fantasy
Give me a
baseball.
Got
your shirt? Got your
Here it
eagle?
is. This is what it is, and this is what FanTrack looks like. But this is what he's talking about. This is after Monday.
Oh, my
I
God.
had 33 at bats. He had 35 at bats. I had 3 hits. He
Oh,
had
yeah.
17 hits.
You're in a lot of
no,
trouble,
no,
dude.
1 run,
This is
10
one day.
runs,
This is
0
one day.
doubles plus triples to 7,
This is
0
one day,
to
guys.
4 home runs, 1 RBI to 12.
How many days was it,
0
This
to
was one day.
and look at the averages and OPSs.
You're in a
Should
lot
I
of
keep
trouble,
going?
You're just on the
More
map.
than a lot of trouble. Let's
It
go
was-
to pitching.
You guys are streaming.
Let's go to pitching. This is it's not as
5
bad.
wins.
It's not as bad.
5
But he
wins.
only
Oh,
had
5
5
innings
innings and he had
pitched.
8.
I thought it was
He was
rounds.
off to perfect pitching too. Is the point? But
And,
batting,
but that
he-
luck
I
and law of
pulled
averages
back.
says
And by Sunday, I almost took 1 or 2 of those battings back. But it took me 6 days just to even be in the conversation. of
2
that.
years ago against Pokes,
and I've never experienced that before.
you played way down. Like your players just did not show up at all, and I just kind of had like an average week, and it was like a blowout because your players were like 550 OPS for the week. It just your lotto ticket was not the right numbers, and we found out, and there's nothing you can do about once you get to week 22, dude.
You talked about
week 22.
in playoffs
Week 22.
22
changing
weeks.
on the fly or continuing to. You don't just stand pat because you have this awesome team.
I love it, dude.
And I started
we
the
had to
playoffs.
get the bourbon. We had to get to the bourbon eventually.
But you can like overdo it.
You know?
Jake overdid it last year or whatever. If anybody, Jake's gonna hear this and make this, but like if
But
anybody,
no, this is the championship. Talk about it.
if anybody looked at the final day and like Julio Rodriguez wasn't in your starting lineup, you know, like Jake would have beat me if he just had a different lineup. But like trying to get that,
Trying to sip of one of those.
trying to get that right. It's so stressful. You're looking at all these split stats. You know,
Yes,
this guy's better at home and
when it
against
comes down
lefties.
to it in a certain position, you might be playing matchups, and that's
Dude.
the best thing to do.
And I'm extremely analytical. I'm trying to like find all the little advantages, but even if you do that, like it doesn't matter sometimes. Andrew Vaughn, dude, who got Andrew Vaughn?
I had him
Yeah.
for several months, several weeks of the year. But
Just like some Oakland
I have
Athletics
Andrew
hitters
Vaughn.
right
Dude,
now.
but if you look at
Chicago White
you go
Sox
like-
hitters.
his last like 10 games, it's like 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits. I pick him up over 4.
Yes.
Drop him.
Just now.
Cheers on the Fantasy Baseball podcast.
guys, we are drinking Bullet Bourbon on the FPL podcast post game. This is the second annual edition. Next year, there's lots of rumors to where we might be, but that's definitely a conversation for the year.
I picked him up.
So,
5 games beat. I had the 2.
okay,
I don't know if he's any good. I don't know.
I know. I have to
Jay.
guys, we're going to spice this up a little bit, okay? Because we are officially over halfway through the season. Jay, I'm sorry. Dude, We gotta spice this up.
Spice it up.
We're over
I wanna
halfway through
know-
the season.
Hey, we just talked about people destroying people in matchups. And we mentioned Imperial. I want to know who's got whose number in this league.
Okay.
I'll start because
Okay.
Imperial was one that I felt like
Wait.
always had my number in regular season
You mean
matchups. And
this year or all
I
time?
mean in general, historically, and it came back this year. He just beat me like 13-2 or something like that last week. And kick and dirt, Derek has like always had my number. He's always kicked my ass in regular season games for the most part.
You for me, man. You always kick ass.
And I'll tell you
I don't have any.
whose number I've had, and that's Isotopes.
They have my number. Yeah.
So,
And we've
what do you do going into a week when you know you're playing somebody who owns you?
You believe.
You believe, but you know you're down already mentally. I think we all can say that. I'll go next. A couple years ago, I had never beaten Imperial or Pokes. Never. Until last year where I finally broke through. There was a matchup in 2022. It was week 2. And I was 8-8 with Pokes going into Friday morning. And he beat me 14-2. It was ridiculous. And my team didn't play bad. It was it was just
right. I mean,
some of it was dumb luck. Some of my team didn't perform. He just owned me.
gotta eat. Might as well just get it here.
Sausages.
Like
Yeah,
you owned me
dude.
again and again
No
and
risk
again
it,
and
no
again.
brisket.
Right.
Chuck also owned me again and again and again. Dude, like my uncle Colby, he was in there for I don't know 3 years. He was
Harvey Wellbangers?
Yeah. He was not one of our better managers, but for some reason, dude, his players would show up and play me. You know, and like okay, I gotta.
Wait, are those the same players I inherited in
Yes.
that
I can't
team?
remember now.
Yes, it is. It is.
I'm rocking this shirt. It says Cutters. Established 2019. I took over this dog shit team. I don't know who had it.
I felt bad at like the worst ripoff I probably have in recent times. It didn't end up working out long term, but I gave him Sean Newcomb and Ryan Healy, who Ryan Healy was playing good at the time for Austin Meadows. And as soon as Meadows got to my team, immediately, dude, upper deck twice in the same game. Like oh my god, I totally ripped him off, you know. And then Meadows winds up being nothing, but
Jeff, who's historically owned you in this league?
Isotopes. Chad. I don't know his last name. You guys know him more than I do. Chad, shout out to you.
Woofy dog.
No matter what I do, whatever lineup I put together, I called it this week pretty damn well. Now, you asked, what do you do when you know that's going to happen? Well, I was down 2-11 to start the day, and here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to scrape and claw to get 2 more games to beat these guys and hold them off in the shittiest division in the league. And here's how I do it. I scrap people like Alvarez, Bush, and Arise is the only non-scrap, Chapman, Terang, Profar, and Bader. Listen, my outfield changes every day, and my new guy is Bader, and boom, there he is. RBI, hit, run. Okay, and one more thing. I'm going to fill all my pitching spots against you, Isotopes, to claw out 2 more, right? So I picked up Tobias Myers, got a quality start that Luke likes. And there it is, a couple other guys. But I'm going to fill out all my pitching. I'm going to turn it over as much as I can to grind out 2 more wins that might come down to winning my first division ever. So, but he owns me. Isotopes just puts it to me. He's like, oh, hold my beer. I'm playing the stitches. That's how it is. But I got that on Joel, even though he doesn't know it.
I'm putting this
All right.
on the
still in
podcast.
denial.
Isotopes is like the leisure sports king. So if he
What do
beats
you
you
mean
at
the
fantasy,
leisure sports
I
game?
mean anything that involves a board, like a board game or a yard game,
This is getting a
or
little weird.
whatever.
You're talking boards and cornhole.
Not like Ouija boards, not like
Risk
anything
the game
weird,
world
just
now.
like
He knows
any
his way-
board
he knows
game,
his way around
like
the cornhole.
chess. He knows his way around the cornhole is what we're trying to say, and a chessboard. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Chuck,
Yes.
anybody historically owned you?
Pokes. It's
What?
Just, I don't.
What the fuck is going on here, Pokes? You've historically owned how many people? How many years have you been in this league?
Let the record.
It's got to be at least 19 or 20, right? How long have we been playing?
Damn.
Since 03.
So I might have missed like 2
20
years.
Yeah.
So
Maybe just one. Maybe just
Maybe
one.
just
You're one of
one.
the longest running
Yeah.
franchises.
How does it feel to be that team that historically owns several teams and is a good middle of the pack team, but hasn't won
man, was that a dig?
many divisions or many championships?
Yeah,
You're a good mid.
it's a different feeling. There's a lot that goes into it. I was horrible for years, and I didn't take it very serious, And then I don't know, something changed and started paying a lot more attention. And it feels good to own some guys that have owned me traditionally. Luke's one of them. Jake's another one. They traditionally always own me, and to get back at them has felt pretty good lately. So
And you go to the finals. I think it was it 2019 that me and you played in the finals.
yeah.
Yeah, so you have a second place
Right.
to your name, which is
I've
a
had
big deal
third
in
place.
this league.
I think I have like a 5th. So there's been a lot more top 10 finishes lately than there has been bottom.
Yeah, I
10.
So I think like when you look at like an NFL season, like what do you remember about the NFL season? You kind of remember the two teams that played in the Super Bowl, and I kind of like that for our league too. That year was Eagle Ridge and Pokes. Those were the two teams they got there.
Who won?
I won that one. Yeah.
Pokes,
And kicking
Also-
dirt, I got to play in the championship.
Actually,
To respond to
can I
this-
make a comment about Derek? I'm so sorry. Can I make a comment about Derek?
Yeah,
Like, for the
please
longest
do.
time, it seems like for you to win your first ring, you have to beat me, Jake, or Derek.
Yeah, you had to go
That's
through
what it had to
Derek
be.
or you two.
That's how Birdlaw
He was
got it.
always in the top 3. Always.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Birdlaw had to beat me. You had to beat Derek, right?
Yep.
You had to beat
Jake.
so
Yep.
like
There you go. There you go.
Derek's been in
I was in the wild card round.
No,
That
no,
was
no,
some
no, no,
crazy
no,
shit,
no,
wasn't
no, no. I'm talking 2016.
Oh, okay.
It was, I don't know, I forget who it was, but it came down to a double. Maybe Bryce
Get an
Harper,
eggshell in there.
like the last game of
Yeah.
the season. It was awesome.
But Luke, you
Hey,
introduced.
what else was
side
awesome? Hold on, I'm sorry, Jeff. I gotta
pots. He
say,
introduced side pots.
but before we talk about side pod, what else was awesome about 2016, Chuck? I mean, didn't the Cubs beat the Guardians in the World Series in 2016?
You want this drink in your face? The
Yeah.
Cavs won the NBA championship. That was the other special thing about 2016.
Okay,
The
so
truth is, like,
so
it
so
was-
okay,
it was
okay.
So,
So
razor
digress.
thin, bro, and like Rajay Davis only almost beat us like twice. And Mike,
Can
Mike
we all
Montgomery
agree?
won us.
Can we all agree that Francisco Lindor is up for not sticking around with the Guardians and backing up Jose Ramirez
He fell
because
asleep
the
during
Guardians
the
could have
rainout
been
in Game
so
7.
much better.
We don't want that. Who did
That's
that?
not
Frankie
gonna-
Lindor.
That's
He
great.
took a nap during the rainout, Game 7, and
That
then
doesn't match your
Frankie
profile.
Lindor is
You'll
in
be
the top
locked
25 by the end of
in.
this week.
Like,
He's doing a
I
little
don't know.
meditation, yeah.
Did you guys see the thing about Tristan Casas when the guy asked him, "Hey, have you been taking swings?" He had like a torn cartilage in his rib cage. Have you been taking swings? Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been
In my
taking
head?
tons of swings. They've all been in my head. Dude.
In my
I haven't been in my body at all. I just close my eyes and like I'm just taking swings.
Are those dry swings? Is that the definition of a dry swing?
Well, what is a dry swing? Does anybody actually know what a dry
Without a
swing
bat in your
is?
hand, I think. It means without a bat in your hand, right?
No, without a ball, right? No.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Pokes.
What is a dry
You have a chance this year to nullify anything.
In a baseball round, what is a dry swing?
Hey guys. Pokes has a chance this year to nullify anything mid about him because he plays in the same division as Luke and Jake,
I don't
and he
think
currently
anything
is.
good about Pokes.
He's currently up at the top of that division and has a chance to win it. What would that feel like to you to win that division and go on and have a really successful playoffs?
Oh, I mean that would top off probably a lot of hard work, really, to be honest with you. I had a really bad year last year. It was a down year, and that I think probably motivated me even harder to kind of go for it this year. And I had a really good draft and had some good keepers, and trying to put it all together for sure would make it icing on the cake.
So what do you do when you have a down year in this league to try to reset? Especially if you think,
Do you think people have focused on the draft picks less than the keepers when they should have been focusing on their 8 keepers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Have they
Okay.
overvalued the draft picks a
Okay,
little bit?
okay.
Yeah.
So
And
And
for
the
those of you who
lottery
don't know,
tickets,
that is a
as
dig at
Rosie likes to
Jason.
call them. Chris always, Italian Hitman always calls them lottery tickets when we talk about draft picks. He's like, oh, you want to give me some lottery tickets? You want to offer me some lottery tickets?
All I'm going to say is this. Create your own style, own it, and follow it to a T. My style may be different than anybody else, and nobody else may replicate that.
Somebody got unlucky in the draft lottery this year.
Derek got really unlucky. There's a couple people that got. I think
I always
Joel,
get
and who
ripped
got
off
really
in the
lucky?
draft.
Well, either you or Derek got really,
Daniel got
really
lucky.
One got like mid unlucky.
I mean,
Daniel
honestly,
got lucky, right, with the third pick.
That's
Birdlaw?
lucky.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, I had a
totally.
first round pick, but honestly, I hate drafting back to back. It's kind of a curse.
Oh, by the
you
way,
don't have no time.
oh my
to
God.
fucking think
Dude,
about your next pick.
Do you guys want to do the Derby side
don't
pot
know how
draw
you
right now? I'm
prevent
prepared
that.
to do it.
Oh,
shit.
let's do this.
This is
All
a
right.
podcast.
Live on air, we are going to introduce for the next side pot. It's the home run derby, and this is the biggest side pot. For those of you who don't know, who are casual listeners in Brussels, Belgium, we try to make our game more fun for maybe people who aren't contending. Week by week, we have statistical competitions where we throw stats together, and whoever acquires the most of those might win some money. It makes it a little fun, it makes it a little competitive. For those of you thinking about starting your own league, this is something to think about. It keeps a competitive balance to the league going.
Yeah, dude, I'm
Hey,
definitely
just
down.
so we know, after this week, I'm
Where are
really
we
close
getting
to
it
being coming side pot king.
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
No.
Oh. Hot
Not
take.
close, not close.
Hot
We
take.
both have
Whoa.
What is the
seven-
record?
7 and 7.
7 and 7.
Then the next closest is like 4.
I got 3. How many you
I think
got?
I had
one.
4 and then 5 I won, and then this will be 6.
Oh, okay.
Wait, okay.
Joel-
All right, here we
Side
go,
pot.
ladies and gentlemen.
Joel had.
What is this exactly?
First name out of the hat's going to get the bye, and then the next two basically are matchups.
And Luke,
This is
just
the Derby side.
just for our audience, this is for which side pot?
The Derby side.
And what are the rules initially of the side
You got to have
pot?
more home runs than the other guy.
And
if you're tied, then league rank is the tiebreaker in the first week. But after
it-
that, it'll be total competition home runs.
Is it one person versus another or
Head to
total?
head.
Okay.
Head to head, right?
Okay.
Except the first name out of the hat's going to get a bye straight into the quarterfinals.
That's good, but it's like already set.
That's going to be me because I'm without Kyle Schwarber. So I kind of need this bye.
One other thing I was going to say, I just lost my train of thought on that. What about the Derby? Oh, this is worth $175 in one draft lotto ticket. This is the big one, dude. $175.
This is the big one.
This-
I think that people like rig the system.
Man, I used to make trades to win side pots.
This is the first year
Yeah.
the side pots will end after
But
week
that's like
17.
how
So once we go to the trade deadline, it's all business there. We're not worried about side pots anymore.
Part
Love
of it's
it.
like the manager.
This is the
having
last
to deal
one.
with
Catch
the
and then you
fans
go.
decide.
Yeah, catch and
So
then
I
you
got
done that.
I got a ticket with 15 teams' names on it. Molina Cantina was the only one that didn't sign up for this. He kind of tried to like halfway through because he has a really good hitting team and he gets a ton of stolen bases. But yeah, he's got to
Yeah,
figure
it's
out some
20
stuff.
batters on this team.
Got to figure out some stuff about pitching and stuff.
Used to.
So we're gonna just like draw names out of the hat, and the first name out will be the bye, and then it'll be matchup. The next two will be playing each other for, you know.
Here we go.
Like this is inspired by the FA Cup in England, because I think NCAA March Madness, that tournament is such a great tournament. But the thing that the FA Cup is, every round they redraw, so it's so random, like who plays who, and you can have like a Final Four matchup, like in the first round and the second round, whatever.
Okay, I like that.
So
It gives every Tom, Dick, and Harry a chance.
there's a randomness to it. I mean, I think I played cutters.
It's live, man. This is raw and uncut. So if dogs are barking in the background, it doesn't matter.
Last year when
It just adds to the authenticity.
That's just
All
being a
right.
good boy.
So
I drew your name out of the hat, it's like, oh my god, of course, dude, of freaking course, because you.
okay,
and you beat me
wait,
again.
that's good. Okay, so the reigning home run derby side pod champion is
Dang, I don't. You won that? Okay, I don't remember.
moi.
You want to
Hey.
say call?
Let the record
Yeah,
reflect
I hadn't won a side pod till last year. That's
why I record this,
How'd
because I
that go in
can't
that
remember.
podcast? Let's do record.
Oh. Did he
Right.
think it goes record? Like, record?
I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
clue. Let the record speak for itself. Who has won the most home run derbies, side pots in the history of this league?
I actually don't have that information. I just track like side pot champions in general, right? It's Stitches and Backcountry that are like the best at this.
How many have they
and
won?
but it's so random, like because Jake is like good at 7, right?
7.
Jake is
Okay.
good again and again and again. Yet it seems like every side pot we do, no matter what it happens, he's like immediately on the bottom. I think over a long enough period of time, it kind of like regulates itself out. But there's no doubt that you put will towards it,
Yes.
and then you win. And so like I don't think it's really like a coincidence. You know,
Like he's manifesting his destiny.
that's what he's putting
I
his
did.
attention towards.
I had.
And he was winning when he was doing it that one hole.
You're also
He happened to
offsetting
also
your
be
debts
winning and
because
making
it
plays.
costs
I
money to play in the
love your
league.
multipliers.
That is true. That's true.
You need to make sure there's another multiplier.
Yeah,
Multipliers?
Yeah. The
I
multipliers.
like
you
breaking
were in
your
the
calculator.
billions. You were in the like
Yes.
Oh my
symbols.
gosh.
Like
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
Wow.
we're doing
That's
this in the Eagle
the
Ridge hat.
multiplier.
I want to
You were
break
like-
Luke's
you-
calculator.
You were like giving
like
us
on
updates
video
every
so you
day. Like
remember?
I'm gonna
Well, you
reach
guys are
1
all-
million.
I'll
Then it
take
was
pictures.
1 billion.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, all right, the person getting the bye in week 1 of the home run derby.
Who's gonna pick?
Take one pick.
I-
Okay, this
Who's gonna pick,
Sorry,
guys?
you got something to say
Coming
before
down.
we do this?
No. So Chuck is going to draw the name out.
All right, here we go.
The
one's
name
a
he
bye.
draws, this is the bye for the
This
person.
is big. It's
Feel
huge,
hand
Chuck.
model, that's
Come
why
on,
they're
give me
letting
some
him do this.
stitches.
Who's got the bye, Chuck?
correct? We can
Yeah, just
confirm
one.
that this is one.
Okay, so the buy is
Shut the fuck up.
It's backcountry.
Let's go!
Who could have said he was going to draw his own name out of there?
I want to recount.
Jay, pick 2. We need
All right, hold on.
That was good, dude. That was good.
Maybe that's more.
Oh, 2 people get buys?
That's more than one, Jay.
Oh shit! How many do I have?
There's
All right,
one.
here's one.
Grab another one. Okay.
That's
There's 2.
Dude.
Drop something. Yeah. You need another one.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah,
thought you said you already
This
had
is a
2.
matchup.
Oh, there we
These
go.
2 are going to play.
All right, so Chuck has a bye to week 1. Now we have 7 matchups.
And then
Dirt.
Kicking Dirt will play Paleskins.
Oh,
That's right, Derek. I'm
Taking
coming
dirt.
after you.
Pale skin for the home run derby.
Joel, how about you pick this one? Okay.
All right.
2 tickets.
And someone ripped ass.
Even outside, you can smell it.
Who's that bar?
Is it 2?
Dude, I'm ready for
All right,
barbecue.
no, keep them both.
What we got? I looked
so
on DoorDash and I didn't see. I don't know what. Like,
Q39.
So we got Eagle Ridge.
from there.
Eagle Ridge will play.
For like 179.
Funked up.
Okay.
Eagle Ridge get to take Funked Up down.
Next week in the actual.
All right.
The longest time I thought you or Jake changed your name to Funked Up because that's your last name.
Look, I've always detested something else.
I never even put that.
All right, shirtless Ron Gant is
And
playing
Birdlaw. No.
Cutters.
Cutters and shirtless Ryan.
Shirtless Ron Gant has played well this year.
I'm without Schwarber, so this may not be
Yeah,
my
Take
year.
2 tickets.
2 tickets?
Get 2 tickets.
I don't think I got 2. No, I got a lot. 5 there. I had a cap going. I got a lot going on there.
And open them
Okay.
up. And we got another matchup. It's going to be
Pokes.
versus.
Yeah, got your attention. Redbird Nation.
Oh, I would like to say that's a dark horse matchup.
That's interesting.
That's an interesting one.
Can you handle picking 2? No.
I'll take these
I'm a
two.
below average
All right,
home
so
run
we got-
team, but there's 1 week I hit 12.
We're looking at
Italian
Hitman
Pittman will play.
versus Birdlaw.
Italian Hitman Birdlaw. Okay.
Hitman versus Birdlaw.
Hey, dude, take 2 tickets out of there. I know you don't know who these people are.
We should introduce Patrick to the podcast, our designated driver.
Wait a
Yeah.
second.
What do you got?
Isotopes versus Pack.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Oh,
we
yeah.
just talked about this. You should feel pretty confident, Jay.
Yeah.
Has to be me.
Stitches.
And
Stitches will play.
I don't feel good about winning any side pot. 'Cause
Imperial.
how-
Imperial, it's Imperial.
Why would I?
Stitches, how do you feel about defending your co-side pot crown against Imperial?
Not where I want to be. Not good, Bob.
Dude, the wind just.
No, I'm not. This isn't my side pot.
Everybody's
Hey,
I'd be a dark horse.
Hey, Luke, I was playing.
windshield.
All right, now we're just gonna pick randomly because we fucking forget. So.
We can remember some of those.
Yeah.
Backcountry?
No, backcountry was by themselves.
Yeah, we do know that.
Is Paleskins shirtless?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right. I'm going to.
It was
me.
Paleskins and
scared.
chicken
I'm scared.
dirt.
Shirtless Rangan played Cutters.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then Pokes played Redbird Nation.
Take a picture.
This is great. Did you get them all?
I got them all.
Will you send it in the group text
Yep.
as well?
Oh, wow.
By the way, I'll be sending everything my son's taking pictures of today's game on to all of us.
Bam.
Thanks.
Nice.
I had the buy, I think.
Yeah, y'all.
I'm gonna
throw some in the
Right,
group
I think
chat
it was.
right now.
So
It's a good call.
I think this is like, we all got drinks to have and fun. Yeah, barbecue to eat.
Places
So
to
we need to
drive.
wrap this shit up. But I think we should end with the state of the league. And we are over halfway through the year, and our co-commissioner Luke
Yes.
is currently the beneficiary of never having missed the playoffs. And as it currently speaks, he's having one of his couple harder seasons. I shouldn't say couple. I've only been here since 2019. I personally don't think you're going to miss the playoff, but it is a concern.
Yeah.
So, where do we stand as far as buyers and sellers go? Anybody want to take
I'm
something
standing
here?
pat, dude.
I wanted to be a seller, but I'm in a position where I have to keep playing because
You're winning.
I'm winning. I'm winning my division. I'm propped up on. I'm not sure what's propping me up, but I'm winning the division. But I got these guys on my tail.
I've already sold.
I'm going for it. I'm not a seller. I might even buy.
So I would just like to say I'm 54 games above 500 right now. Odds are I will be buying, and I have something that Jason doesn't have:
Okay.
draft picks. So
Raise your hand if you have a first round pick.
watch out, Jason.
Let's go through this. Raise your hand if you have a second round pick. Not me. Raise your hand if you got a third round pick.
I've got
Not
all
me. Raise your hand if you got a fourth round pick.
Round pick too. So you only have all you have is a fourth.
He
Nope.
doesn't have that.
Fifth
He has
one's
a
a
6.
You say.
I got a 6. You're the winner, Pokes. Good job. Yeah,
But you've shown everybody.
I have
You
6
picks
rounds
last year,
down.
And
I
then you're
did.
in first or second place or something right now. It's second place. It's ridiculous, dude. Like you should be in last place. Like, but you're showing like it doesn't matter. You know, there's so many aspects to this game. There's keepers.
Are we doing the president?
There's free agent acquisitions. There's draft picks. You know, and then like what you do with your draft picks for sure.
And there's just dumb luck.
There's
Which
rooks,
is a
there's
really
knights,
good point,
There's
Luke.
bishops.
So let's
And,
end this podcast with some of the best steals and hardest reaches of the current draft that we just had this past March.
Jim Melendez.
Ah,
That guy's.
Hey, in your defense, I'm probably going to drop him today or tomorrow once Gabby Moreno
He's
comes
got some
off the
big
IL.
games in him, but it's like 1 in 25, and then like how is he going to be on your roster for that long? I don't know, dude. Maybe he'll figure it out. But he hit 40 home runs in the minor leagues and he did it at 232. So I don't know what I was seeing. It's not the type of guy that I normally invest in, and
Why did you invest in him?
I don't know. You know, sometimes it's like you just have. Hey, I want that guy. I like that guy. I want that guy. You know, and then there's really no.
There's something sexy about him.
But like years ago, I like sold the farm to go get Jose Altuve. Okay, but Altuve was already established, you know. Not that I sold the farm to get Melendez, but I traded for him down the stretch with a 4th round pick and an 8th round pick for him and Mentor. And I thought maybe he could develop into a keeper or something. And
I mean,
No.
160,
Okay.
dude.
Okay, that's cool.
yeah.
Um,
Yes.
I'm going to take my wart. So
Yeah,
I traded my first round pick, traded back, acquired Xander Bogart, and picked Christian Encarnacion Stam. Now, Xander Bogart broke his shoulder, and Christian Encarnacion Strand is out for the year. So I'm taking a big L on that one.
But you're the Luis Hill guy, right?
I picked up Luis Hill
I'm saying Cole
after
Dude,
waivers.
this last year, right? He didn't do it for a full year yet.
I picked up Reagan's
Basically about
last July, like early
You've had a bunch
July.
of hits, dude. It's either like a hit or a miss, right? You've had a bunch of hits. I've had a bunch of misses. So reason that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
let's
Those
do
both
Do
I'm
you
in.
have Venmo or something? Yeah, all right.
do it.
Let's do it.
So what are you talking about?
We're getting some barbecue, a big ass.
The presidential. You're eating? You're eating?
Nikes.
Jeff might be gone.
I'm gonna go.
Okay,
So
I'm
six?
into barbecue.
Sounds like that, man.
Yes, yes.
All right. So, guys, any other reaches or failures?
I
Like-
just
Well, obviously, I'll be in last place after this week.
Garrett Crochet was obviously my best pickup.
So pick me up.
I added him. I mean, I what's the dude's
Roadkill on the side of
Ryanel Blanco? I dropped him to get Garrett Crochet.
I wish
So
I
I dropped him to get
in
Garrett
both
Crochet.
leagues, man. I'm just
Oh.
glad I
Before
have
the
him in
season
some.
started, when I found out Garrett
That's
Crochet
interesting.
was the ace
That's
for the White Sox, I
interesting.
looked into him.
He gave up Blanco to get Crochet. That's interesting.
I mean,
You
you
wish
used
you
to
had
do
the
that
kind-
thing
yeah.
where you
There
go
was
through and you'd
this
say,
much
"Who's your
time to
best
pick
draft
up Ronald
pick?"
Blanco.
Yeah,
The window
I
was
did.
like this.
Yeah.
It's like, here he comes.
I could
Yeah,
probably
well, his
run
spring
something
training
It
was
was like-
insane, dude. It
Yeah.
was
Mine is right now.
I
Can
wasn't
we?
paying attention to spring. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
that's a
just
good
heard
one.
that one day, and I was like, oh, I'm picking
Who is
this up.
everybody's best
And
draft
then
pick that
the
you can
no-hitter.
think
Yeah,
of right
I
now?
like that.
I like my Yamamoto after he blew up in Korea, and then he slipped to me, but not so much now that he's hurt. But it was rolling. I was rolling with
My
that.
best pick, I'd have to go
Dean
with Jose
Kramer in the
Ramirez at
21st
eight
round,
overall.
bro. That's my best
yeah.
pick right there.
You know, as a
Oh,
Guardian
and by the
fan,
way, I
as-
didn't have a
He wasn't
second,
a
a
bust.
third, a
No.
fourth, or a fifth. So, yeah, it's Yamamoto.
Dean
We're
Kramer.
talking about
That's
who-
my
who's
best
everybody's
draft
best
pick, bro.
draft pick.
That's literally
Yeah.
the only
I mean-
one of the only ones that's still on my team.
For me, dude, like Brian Reynolds comes to mind just because, you know, I had him for years, and I wound up taking him at 15 to get him back. And look, April, May weren't good, but June now he's like a top 40 player or whatever.
Big shortstop.
And I can't. Oh my God, dude! So many misses. The only other guy I'm willing to say is like Luis Severino. I think a bunch of people shied away from Severino, and I was like,
I got
you
burnt by him.
traded
That
to me
one
for as a
go
keeper,
back.
but he's injured. Remember?
Yeah.
I'm going to rescind mine. Seth
Thinking
Lugo.
maybe you could keep
I got him like
Wow.
round
Yeah.
22nd
Turn it
or
around.
something.
Okay. So mine was Ronaldo Lopez. Ronaldo Lopez
Oh, nice. Yeah.
was, I don't know where I got him. It was 20 something because I didn't have.
Does he lead the league in ERA right now? I think he does. I think he
up
does.
there.
Maybe he's right
damn,
there.
dude.
But it's all about team
Seth Lugo
confidence.
was like 25th round for you. I
Yeah.
don't think you had a bunch of hits. I think John Gray was kind of a hit until
And
like
then I
his
dropped
last
him
start.
because
Yeah,
I'm not patient
I'm
enough.
gonna look at Cutter's team real
But
quick.
then-
Yeah.
We kind of were going around that way.
My draft, I have very few picks.
I mean, you had weird.
Like very few guys I picked up that are still on the team.
It's just so crazy to see that your first pick was in the first round, your next pick was in the 21st round.
Yeah. Who was it? Who was my
Garrett Mitchell,
21st?
dude.
AJ Mitchell?
Garrett Mitchell.
And that was a trade with
No,
me.
that was a trade. Who
Yeah.
did I
Oh,
trade?
Reynaldo Lopez, 100% is your best pick. Let's go look at Chuck.
None of those guys ended up sticking. So I'd
And
say
I'm not talking about keepers. I'm going, you know, beyond. I mean, it's like you
Mm-hmm.
don't
Yeah,
want to
you
mention
could do-
Ramirez, but like the thing is, if you
Michael
get him and he
Lorenzen
doesn't
in the
suck,
23rd
then like,
round.
yeah,
Oh,
you did good.
that's
Well,
Maybe that's the
it had
best.
eight.
I like
I
Brian.
got him
Best
at
late
eight.
I like
rounder.
that.
And that's
Yeah.
after a round of 8 rounds of keepers, 10 if you count the NAs. So
Dude, Jack Flaherty in the 22nd round.
Hey.
He's
Who,
66
who leads the league
Yeah.
in called strikes plus whiffs?
value-wise, strong.
Him,
It's
probably.
That guy's up towards the top.
Pale skins.
I was a
Or
big
Carlos
Flaherty
Correa,
guy last year,
18.
and I kind of liked him this year. And
Yeah.
you got
Round
me.
18 is like your last chance to get a good closer.
Oh, Pale skins is
hitter.
Jack
There's like a
Flaherty, right?
threshold.
Yes, we just
Finnegan
described
in
that. Yes.
23rd. Yeah,
There's been the
Flaherty.
best
This full ass Flaherty.
Dude, he actually did okay.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, Jack
Draft
Flaherty and
pick?
Javier
Best
Baez
draft
in the
pick,
25th.
Michael Lorenzen
Griffin
in the
Jackson's a
23rd
good-
round,
Where's
or
Jack?
Dean Creamer in the
Where's Jack?
21st. I got some really
So you
good
can pick up a
pitchers
Jack
late.
Flaherty.
I was focused on pitchers this year.
All right,
I made
so,
sure that I
My
got.
rookie.
so we're going to wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank
Javier Assad in
You didn't get shit out of Gabby Moreno. Everybody thought he was going to be good because of the postseason.
I was
run.
excited about that.
Oh, what about
draft
Yenier
pick.
Cano? He's freaking good.
Yeah.
You got him in the 24th
Yeah,
round.
he's been good. He has his bad outings, but overall they keep giving him the ball and he keeps
What a
delivering.
great day.
So I think this is a good point. Hey, it's been great. This has been the second annual FPL convention. There'll be more to come years after this. So as fantasy baseball advocates sign out. Cutters,
Pack.
be well.
Be well, guys.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, good. Great.
Yeah.
Liked it.
What if Dad told you I was still on on air.
Yeah, man.
You know, like that commercial thing, like you know, when the movie ends and the credits roll and people are still talking.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing some matches.
Yeah, you